pertinent to what's going on in the world right now. So, Scott, thanks for coming by.
No problem.
So, Scott, I've been watching your videos on YouTube for quite a while now, and I'm going to be honest to say that when I first saw it, I thought you were crazy. I thought that you had no clue and were just one of these guys that was making it up. Little did I know that looking back over all your information, you were pretty dead on. So, how did you get started doing the YouTube videos?
Well, I never watched YouTube or anything. I'm a reader. My kids did YouTube, and then I had so much information. I was like, you know what? I put this grant in with USGS, and it got validated, and I don't know what was going on with that, but I go, you know what? I can't wait. So I started putting them up on YouTube. But I also knew that with this stuff, I was going to have to lay down the groundwork for months and months and months, and I figured I might as well have some fun with it. And so that's what I did. If you go through all the old links and stuff, it has all the stuff on all the radioactive stuff all over the place. And it's a joke. In that ice, it's a runaway. And the fractures on it. I was just lining it out. And I'd do little, 40 earthquakes in the next 3 months, 6.0 or greater. And, I'd throw one of those out. And I'd go, okay, 80 earthquakes and 250,000 dead in the next 6 months, and throw one out like that so they could, say, hey, man, wait a second. What the heck? How come he's so, why he's doing that? He's predicting this stuff. And I mean, this is just pressure and weight. And boy, this world is totally deceived. I got on YouTube and I'm going, holy smokes, I was listening to all the different stuff. And I am very thankful and grateful to all the truthers that came before me. I mean, they laid down a huge audience to get this information out pretty quickly, even though it took a lot of months to finally get my first 1,000 subs. And that was like 6 weeks ago. And I think I was at 1997 just right now before the show. So I'll hit 2,000, so it's starting to take off exponentially, but it has nothing to do with me. It's the information. I mean, holy smokes, we're in trouble.
So you started uncovering this information. The thing I've heard you talk about the most was post-glacial rebound. What is post-glacial rebound?
Well, around 14,000 years ago, when you had all those woolly mammoths freeze and, with buttercups still in their stomach, all that weight pushed down all those continents and depressed them. I mean, that's a lot of weight. Now, as this weight leaves those continents start to rebound. They start lifting up. And that anomaly is happening all over up there in the Antarctic right now. I have one article where this guy had a 9-hole golf course next to the lake's edge, and now it's 18 holes, and he was thinking of expanding it to another 18 holes. I mean, that water's receding so fast, it's ridiculous. That whole area up there is rebounding. We've lost 9 Californias worth of ice in the last 3 years alone. I mean, that is a lot of weight. It's like a lead weight on a tire. You take that weight off from over there, and it doesn't matter if that water or that ice is in water. It's all land. And when you take that weight off that land and you put it somewhere else on the globe, well, that weight's taken off. So that land starts to lift back up. Now, where this water is going, this heavy, heavy weight, it's going into geofragile zones in the ocean. And it's sinking the ocean floor. And it's pushing the magma. It's like a magma wave. So you're going to see volcanoes. And I said that on my second vid when I came on YouTube like 10 months ago. I mean, and it's in our face. And the money players, man, that ICCP, oh, man, they are dirty as hell. And the World Bank, oh man, the mother of all harlots, man, the bride of Antichrist herself. Man, they are pulling cons hardcore, like the OTC derivatives market. That's a $595 trillion con. And this stupid carbon tax stuff, now they're making money out of thin air. And they're taking that and selling futures and everything else. I mean, they're making that into a $200,000 market. And now with this lithium stuff, which they knew about all along, that was $1 trillion worth of lithium that they found over there in Afghanistan. That's what 9/11 was all about. It's about money. This is what the World Bank does. They got the whole entire globe tied up in trade agreements. They run the show. It's just that simple.
So, do you think that they're using? So, what you're saying is that they're using this post-glacial rebound as a way to make money, like conning it off as in climate change?
Well, this is real stuff. It's happening. And these guys are profiting immensely behind this stuff. Like these oil companies, these are the good old boys club. Big time. All these oil companies like PB, man, they went short on their stocks hardcore. And they threw their money into lithium. These guys are all going to battery technology. They're way ahead of everybody else. Man, these are all smoke and mirror things. It's amazing. They get away with this stuff time and time again. I mean, it's like, is people going to wake up? First, you had the gold pool in the 70s. You had the S&L scam in the 80s. You had Enron. You had the farming. You had the housing. You had the OCT derivatives. I mean, they've been playing this game over and over and over again. It's all one big con. It's a lie.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a hill. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile.
And, man, it just amazes me. I just sit there.
Okay, so back to I just want to stay on the post-glacial rebound for a little bit. Now, what's causing the ice caps to melt?
From what I'm seeing, nuclear fallout. Now, when Chernobyl blew up, this is the same time. This is how these guys work. It's amazing. Okay, they came out with this. Aerosol cans. Don't spray aerosol cans because it hurts the ozone. You know what? That is baloney. Okay, when Chernobyl blew up, which was 3.5 million pounds of spent fuel rods, and uranium's a metal. It's mined. And then you add probably 100,000 tons or whatever of metal and concrete from those 4 structures, and that thing blew up like no one's business, and it blew a hole right through the ozone. Matter of fact, that dude that was running the reports offed himself 2 years later. I mean, it was the cover-up of cover-ups, the Lie of 86. It was a joke. And then all these atomic, like World War II, when they blew up the Japan, man, where do you think all that metal and debris and people and dirt went? It went airborne, and it went all over your ice pack. I mean, it's in the Himalayan ice cores. It's in every ice core around the planet. I mean, you got a hole in the ozone from this, and the phenomenology test too. The high altitude nuclear bombs they were detonating. Man, it's just like, man, this is so dang wicked. It's unbelievable. And man, they keep snow dome. I mean, look at what they're doing to the public. Oh yeah, CO2 gas. Yeah. So they created a $200 trillion new con with that. Okay, and then they're shoveling all their money into battery technology and stuff while everyone's thinking oil. They're shoveling all their money the other way. It's a con.
You're a rotten Mr. Grinch. You're the king of sinful sucks. Your heart's a dead tomatoes plot with moldy purple spots, Mr. Grinch. You're a 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch. With a nos, you super nos. You're a crooked jerky jockey and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Grinch. Your soul is an appalling dump heap, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable, mangled up and tangled up nuts.
Now, going back over to Post-Glacial Rebound, because that's what you want to hear about. Mm-hmm. These guys know climate and money are going hand in hand. And that's why I bring the financial aspect to this, because they're going hand in hand. Just before Iceland, volcanoes took off, they just whacked that economy. They're grabbing the money before it happens. When I saw them do that in Italy, I go, oh, man. And then here in California, they've been expecting it to go since 2008. Now, the 2030 report, which I have the Senate hearings over on my YouTube channel, too, is 2 hours long. They told 16 different branches of the CIA, told our Congress to go screw, okay? It's national security, straight up. It's called climate security is what it's called. You don't think all those millions and millions and millions of FEMA coffins sitting all around the United States is there by accident. And they had those things set up a couple of years ago because they thought they were already there at that point. I mean, I just said, I'm a reader. I went to college when I was 12. The same college that Obama went to, Occidental College in East LA.
Endowed with rights, not just endowed rights, but they're unalienable. That means no judge, no politician, no bureaucrat can come between you and your rights. So in the American model, you are sovereign. You loan power to the government. The government never loans power to you.
It's already on. Hello. Hi, my name is Leah. Mr. Gingrich, I really tried to reach you today. I have a special note from a scientist. His name is Scott.
Principal's going to get your picture.
You
got it. I'll read now. Here you go.
I mean, I sit here and read. I've been following the money since high school. You know, I went to high school too, and I mean, I made what is it, $20 million or something like that in a 10-week class with $10,000. I mean, they had the cons going back then. But now this is, I mean, even back then, if you think about it, they had Soylent Green. You know, they were having all these different green movements back in the 60s and 70s. People were already feeling it. But boy, when Chernobyl blew, that was it. I mean, it's been a runaway ever since. And that's
that promotes renewable energy and clean and energy efficiency. We just got to get it done, or all those jobs that I talked about are going somewhere else.
Scott is joining us from Central California with former Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm. Scott, good morning.
Good morning. Ms. Granholm, you know, I was in Battle Creek, Michigan not too long ago, and they had a solar plant sitting there that they built with Obama's monies, well, our taxpayers' monies, and they got it totally up, and then it sat there empty, and they closed it down. And at the same time, you had 800,000 gallons of oil going all throughout the laking system up there. You know, now you talked about the G20 and Germany. The German chancellor just stated that they're going to be shutting down their nuclear power plants because they're unsafe. I mean, we've already had 5 incidents of nuclear problems over here in the U.S. just this year. You know, I don't get the reasoning behind what you're stating.
You don't get the reasoning behind moving toward renewable or clean energy, or you're just saying that nuclear shouldn't be a piece of it? What are just to clarify?
Nuclear is being taken off the table. The Secretary of the United Nations stated the other day that we're going to have more meltdowns because of the climate that we're in. We're in post-glacial rebound effect. We're going to have bigger earthquakes. NASA just stated we're going to have over another foot of water going into the oceans, which is the equivalent of filling every inch of land on the planet 2 feet renewable energies. But, you know, when you shut down a plant before it's even opened, it doesn't make any sense, and no jobs came into that plant.
Okay.
You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, nasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The 3 words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote: stink, stink, stunk.
Fact.
So, what do you think is going to be the end result of post-glacial rebound? Like, are we just going to break apart, or?
Well, you know, the Earth has to fix herself. I mean, I look at all this stuff with common sense. I mean, the Earth's going to have to fix herself. I tell people, you know, we got to start evacuating these islands because they're unsafe. You're going to see all kinds of different anomalies. You're going to see islands sinking, like Newmore Island. And I told people those were going to start sinking months before they did. And then you'll see other anomalies where the magma is being actually built up underneath the island, and the island starts to rise around its edges and stuff. And you know there's a submarine volcano just ready to blow that island right down in one sinking match. And I'm sitting there going, holy smokes, my God, oh my Lord. You know, and you know, I try to do as much as I can to warn the people and put all the links and the information and the facts along with it. And I'll even give them the biblical prophecy to back it. I mean, it is what it is. But the Earth's she's gonna fix herself. But you're gonna have these rich money bastards, okay, manipulating the populace and not allowing them to leave. I mean, they're stuck. They're putting them into a form of slavery, which I call communism, through a bank. Okay, because the poor are getting poorer. They're stripping away the middle class now. I mean, put a fork in it, it's done. And I sit there looking at this, holy smokes, and I'm praying for a recovery to common sense, where our leaders say, you know what, this is evil, and I'm stepping away from it, and you know, and they broom these banks. That's about the only thing I can see that would be a hope, or just warn the people that are going to hear on YouTube, and you know, get to somewhere it's safe, you know.
So where do you consider safe?
Above the 40th parallel, anywhere away from any volcanoes. Also, you have to worry about lightning. So, you know, you got to worry about the brush. Also, the lakes overflowing because you're going to have major storms. So, you know, these are just the 3 factors that you really want to look out for. And stay around clean birds. Wherever the clean birds are flocking, you're going to probably have clean water. Because clean water seems to be coming in short supply too nowadays.
Yeah, that almost seems on purpose. Some of the places they poisoned.
It's amazing. I mean, I was just looking at that lady's report where there was like 7 million gallons of oil in all these different little accidents since 2006 all over the United States.
Facility where they for 300 jobs, and it got snuffed by the governor of Michigan for the greater greed, serving these oil corporations. Instead of getting clean energy, is spending millions upon millions of dollars, which would create a bunch of jobs. Okay, this building sits empty. And they put all these stupid signs on it. And this is your taxpayers' money, man. This is your money. You're paying this governor to do this to your citizens, okay? And how many... Hey, this one's off Russian TV. Listen to it yourself.
UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon urged the world to prepare for even more nuclear accidents on the same scale of Chernobyl and Fukushima, and called for greater international cooperation.
Okay. This is all the oil gunk that came down this river system. They got booms all the way up this thing. They got black tarping all the way down over here. And guess what? That solar plant is not only a block and a half up that way. You can't see it. But it's only a block and a half up that way.
You can see the oil gook on the side of this concrete. I mean, it just killed everything. It smells like crap here.
And then you think about all the nuclear crud that they've been dumping in these things. I mean, wow. I got this one book that just details how, I mean, because I have one report of radioactive wasp from one of these facilities they shut down because they just buried the nuclear waste right on the property. They took those huge fuel rods and just threw them in. I mean, they just made their money and ran. It was one big con. They could care less. Like Russia, they sunk 57 tankers, ships, right in the ocean full of nuclear waste. They could care less. Money don't care. It's run by what I call the Satanic Bible of incorporation. That piece of paper that Congress gave life back in 1917, that whole entire Congress should be impeached right now. All their decisions overturned, and let's take it from there. Get back and, turn this thing around before it's too late and start saving some people. I mean, because there's some bad zones here, and we need to move them off and start walking with some love and some compassion instead of this nonsense.
Yeah, I have to agree. Jim, you got any comment over there?
No, I totally agree with everything Scott's saying there about how they abuse, any law they can to get away with just dumping their waste right directly into the environment. I agree. They don't care. They're just looking to make a buck, most of them. As far as the big plan goes, yeah, I'm with you the whole way. You're right. That is their plan. It's all a depopulation agenda.
So, Scott, do you think there's any play with what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico now with the oil leak?
Well, it's like a video I posted today. Shell just sank an 8,000-foot rig, and they're all happy. Hey, look at, and I mean, man, that's the worst place in the world to stick an oil rig. I mean, why do you think that part of the ocean is so low? It's ocean deformation. It's sunk that low because it's the softest area. And then they're going to start pumping oil out of it? Holy smokes. And then with the pressure of this new water that's being redistributed all over the globe through post-glacial rebound, because, it's like a person in bed, you're just going to move around till you get comfortable. And that's all the Earth's doing. She's just throwing that water around, try to get a little comfortable. So you get these mega storms, and they come on inland, and they start pouring out these mega storms, which I warned people about before they had them. Tennessee got hit, Oklahoma got hit, Arkansas's gotten hit, the whole East Coast has been hit already. Where do you think this water's going? It goes right on down there into the Gulf. And now you got all this new weight sitting there. And NOAA just came out the other day and said, well, the hurricane season is supposed to be, almost like twice of what it's going to be. Yeah, so this water is just being redistributed all over the place. It's nightmare scenarios. Man, it's not good.
Yeah, it's looking pretty scary out there, especially with NASA coming out and saying that this solar cycle is probably going to devastate our electronics on the planet. Do you think the sun has anything to do with what's going on?
Well, here's the weird thing on it. Okay, with post-glacial rebound, because the skin of the Earth is pretty much it's like the skin of your body. It's like the biggest organ. So you take the water off the Earth, then it's just like the moon. It's all land. So when you got all this water slushing around everywhere,
the slowing Earth throws the carefully calibrated system out of whack. The effects are catastrophic.
Tower, American 721, aborting approach. Repeat.
Man, it starts to move this planet around. It starts to wobble, and it's messing up the magnetic field. Now, the magnetic field protects us from this solar radiation stuff. They got a big problem.
The waters off San Francisco are an area prone to earthquakes. But now, oceanographers here see evidence of seismic activity that they've never seen before. Deep cracks in the ocean floor release intense heat. Dead fish, killed by the blast, float to the surface.
Yeah. So do you think it would actually collapse the magnetosphere? Or?
Well, I'll tell you what, I guess Mark 13 said the best, if it wasn't for God's return, the whole, and there would be no flesh left.
Yeah, that's very true.
And it also states there, behold, I have told you beforehand. Okay? So the Bible tells you everything you need to know. I'm a biblical dominant scientist. I look at the science, I go, hey, is there anything in the Bible? Oh, holy smokes.
It's not only water that's on the move. As the Earth's rotation weakens, the atmosphere is now starting to settle toward the top and bottom thirds of the globe. These are the only places people can breathe.
Well, can you back up post-glacial rebound biblically for us?
Oh, yeah. It's the white horse going out conquering into conquer. And boy, she's going out conquering and conquer big time. Whoa. We're talking earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, and oh, man.
Okay, well, what would come next then? Like, what are we looking at in the next 12 months per se?
Well, you're gonna look at this thing has so many dynamics to it. You're talking about insect populations starting to like here in California, you got lizards and frogs picking up this fungus now. Because you're getting changes in weather patterns and stuff, and it's giving these kind of creatures fungus. So what happens is, man, they can't eat the bugs. So you get what I'm saying? This is setting off weird things. Napa Valley's getting 2 different types of insects a month in there that they didn't have before. So you're getting changing in patterns and stuff. It's like those polar bears swimming out 50 miles. They're just swimming to a place that they think is there that was there. Because they go by like the magnetic field. They fill it out. They don't go like we do. And you're seeing all kinds of weird stuff happening, man. It's going to be whack.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I live in the Arctic. I'm in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. It's north of 60.
You're in the money.
Yeah. But what we're seeing up here is we're having grizzly bears mating with polar bears. We're having animals that were farther south moving farther north. We've got birds that were never here before showing up. You can tell there's something up with the magnetics of the earth changing because all the stuff's going crazy here.
Yeah, it's in your face.
Yeah, you can't deny it, especially when you live in a place like this. Like, I walk 20 minutes outside of town, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, literally. So I can go out and I can see the effects of whatever has been going on, and that's always what I've been searching for in the quest with this radio show and website is what is really going on with it, because I can see it in my own area, and I'm sure everybody down south can too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their story. You can go all over the United States and Canada, and people can report right from their YouTube channel on what's going on locally, weird, funky phenomena. It's just that simple. It's like the one video I did the other day on lightning, okay? Because when the magnetic field's messed up, boy, it starts picking up that lightning. Woo! You start getting some serious lightning. I mean, it took out a 6-story Jesus statue. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I've seen that today. I'm actually going to post it after we record this.
Burn that money pit to the ground, man. Hey, man, God ain't about money. Shoot. Creed don't save. I'm glad to see that thing melted to the ground.
I agree with you 100% on that one. That is what convinced me there was God. Well, not that instance, but how things like that happen.
Hey, my bro Jesus, man, he tossed some money tables, money changers table, man. He got jacked for 30 coins of silver. And those money players been doing their thing all along.
Exactly. And it's funny you bring that up to certain people in the Christian community, and that was different.
Yeah, they're full of self-importance. Don't you know who I am? Man, you can't do that. It's my way or no way, and all this other stuff, man. You're sitting and they pass a plate twice in the same service, and you're just like, okay, right. Yeah, I mean, it's garbage. Any church that's incorporated, okay, and I'm going to get back to the Articles of Incorporation, because they gave that piece of paper life. Okay, that Congress gave that paper life. It's alive. It can buy. It can sell. It has the legal rights of a person. Matter of fact, it has more rights than the animals it kills, BP. It has more rights than your sky, Chernobyl. It has more rights than your ability to live, Wells Fargo. And these guys are Mr. Wells Fargo, Mr. Chernobyl, Mr. B of A. I mean, they're alive. They're a person, according to the Congress. And the only purpose for that paper is to make money for its stockholders. That's it. It's a satanic law. It serves greed. That's what it serves. No matter what. And if it's more cost effective to drag them out with lawyers for the next 20 years, it does. They don't care. Man, they're selling everything to you. They're selling the dirt, the sky, the land, the ocean, the water. I mean, they're polluting the hell out of all of it and then selling it to you and then cramming the brainwashing down your face. It's sad.
It is. It's very sad. And that's one thing, I've noticed that in the more guests I get to talk to, it seems like we're all starting to come to the same conclusion that we just got to put everything down and walk away from it. Yes, we'll have to clean up afterwards, but as far as the system goes, if we would just stop supporting it, it would fall apart and it wouldn't be a problem anymore.
Well, these guys are so, I mean, it's way late in the game now. But,
yeah.
I mean, you do what you can, walk in love and, just, love one another because, what can I say, man?
There's a reason they call it the golden rule, eh?
Yeah, well, their golden rule is whoever has the money has the rule, makes the rules, So
yeah.
That's why it's golden. Boy, and their money's worthless. It's all one big con.
Well, that's the one I get a kick out of is how people seem to think that it means something that they have $100,000 in the bank. I mean, like I say to them, well, yes, you have $100,000 in the bank until the bank says you don't.
Correct. And we're not even sheep or cattle to them. We're just zeros and ones.
Exactly. Just a number.
Yeah. And, what happened? Oh, 200,000 people died. Okay. We'll just deduct 200,000 off that piece of paper. They don't even see them as people. And you listen to the politicians and they're talking down to us. And you know what? Payback's a bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, God's coming.
They can, like it says in Revelations, where the kings of the earth hid in the mountains in their holes or whatever, and the holes fell upon them, or I can't remember the exact phrase, but that's exactly what they've set up. Like, I really think that's what the underground bunkers are for. They're going to run there to hide, and it might not work out quite the way they planned.
Well, of course not, man. They haven't heard from above. They lean on their own understanding, which is nothing. It's foolishness to God. And those mountains are going to crumble in like tin cans, like aluminum cans. The mountains is the lightest material. That's why they rose up. Okay, it's just like why is the ocean floor deeper in some areas? Because it's the easiest to crunch down. And this is not quantum physics or quantum mechanics. This is basic elementary stuff. Okay, those mountains went up easier because the land is easier there. So when you get these big old quakes and stuff, they can have a counter effect on some mountains. Some will pull out, extend out, no crunch down. And some will just fold in on themselves. Who knows what kind of air chambers or water chambers or magma chambers are under any of these mountains. I mean, there's so many piping systems of so many things, including gas, all kinds of different gases underneath this earth. And now this weight pushing on this stuff. Oh, wow.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. It kind of reminds me of that, I don't know if you've ever heard it, the Art Bell infamous Area 51 call where Art's radio station got zapped with a bolt of, or some sort of EMP. The guy called in and said that there was natural disasters coming and that the government knew about it, but they weren't doing anything to move the people. And it seems like the more people I talk to, that phrase was so correct. Okay, Scott, where do you see the next big event coming?
Well, I'll tell you what, this girl's a very interesting phenomenon. And if I had all the information, if I would have access to all the information, I could probably pinpoint it just off of pressure and weight and spin and everything else. But you know what? They're not giving out that information because it's under national security. And anywhere where they had any kind of geo damage, like the Semeru mud flow over there off the coast of Java, Indonesia, where an oil rig caused a mud volcano, and now that water sucked back in and it's breaking the strata, and it caused a new fault line all the way down to Australia, and it's a lawsuit. And I mean, you can look it up on Wikipedia and read it. They lost, man. They caused a brand new fault zone, and they did the same thing in the Gulf. This ain't nuclear science, man. This is pressure and weight. You just can't drill holes in the areas and expect nothing to happen with this new pressure and weight. What's going to be interesting is all these other holes that they drilled for all these different decades where, you know, they drilled and they missed. There was nothing there and they pulled them out. Well, with all this new pressure and weight, you know, it just may shift some things underneath. It just may cause a vacuum on a couple of them holes and open up new faults. Who knows? But I don't have any of the reports that they hide legally. You know, and I'm going to walk honestly. If they want to give me the stuff, I'll go over it and give them my best guess. All I can do now is just say, hey, man, they're going to keep coming and coming and coming. And following the money would be my best bet on predicting what's coming because they know beforehand. They got the reports and they got smart people. Okay. I mean, I had to do it. It was like 10 years of hardcore looking. And I've been following that World Bank for 14. Boy, fragile state securing development, man. Dang. It's a sick report. It's my second video. It's a New World Order agenda. Man. And then after they signed that Global Patriot Act certificate with the Swiss banks, man, they had everybody's bank account information on the planet. And that happened in 2008. And the 2030 report came out in 2008, September. Yeah, all that stuff happened a week before the stock market crashed. You think about that.
That's really interesting.
Yes, it is. Yeah, well, I got it on my vids. I mean, that's why I always let them rate, comment, whatever. And I'm a Christian. And yes, I have heard from above. My sheep hear my voice. And I'll tell you what, it is a terror to understand the report. You know, and God can use a Coke can. I mean, he can make the rocks sing out, so that don't make me anything special or anything. All these people who went before me, even you, all of us, man, anybody who's lifting up their voice saying, hey, man, truth, in this sewer pit of lies of this planet, man, God bless you. That's all I got to say. And I believe I'm representing when I say that. God bless you.
Well, I'd have to agree. Anybody that's out there is speaking up and just asking for truth. And I, don't believe anybody here unless you can prove it yourself, but go and listen to everybody. That's always been my opinion. And with that, you find truth, like this wanting to silence certain groups because of what they say. I mean, if a smart man will listen to them and understand that, they're speaking truth or they're speaking lies. So.
Yeah, and or if you don't understand it, just put it on the shelf. You don't have to blast a newcomer or anything. Just, if they're off and you're way past them, you don't have to jack them up. Lift them up. I mean, I've seen nonsense too in the truth movement. And you know what? It's unacceptable. No class. We bring everybody up. Everybody lifts up one another. This is not about ego. This is not about money. This is about caring. It's about love. And a lot of people are going to die. And that stuff needs to be brewed. And we need to start lifting our light up, man. And I mean, not under a basket. We need to set it up forefront. There's enough information and links and everything else, plus all the prediction I made beforehand to validate everything they need to know. Okay. And man, there's some smart people out there. I mean, and I'm maxed out. I got a kid that just got out of the hospital and stuff. I got copays up the wazoo. Man, there's some smart people out there, really smart people with time to throw up their own videos on this stuff. and start to get it mainstream so we can, save some lives. I'm just, a man crying out in the desert here. I want to thank you for allowing me to come on your show tonight. That's cool.
Well, yeah, no, we really appreciate you coming on. Like I said, I've been watching your videos for a while now, and I seen you through the Truther Girls channel is one of the first time I've heard of your channel, and following them, I've just been amazed at how accurate you could be, because I've never even heard of Post-Glacial Rebound until I saw your videos.
Yeah, they stuff it, man. I mean, it was a trip when I came on YouTube and started laying down the groundwork and then coming out with it hardcore, because you don't want to scare people so right off the get, but and you want to lay down all the information and facts, and I knew it was going to take me a while to build up an audience. I'm not an idiot. You just don't pop on YouTube and say, hey, look at, unless you got some kind of stupid video that,
Yeah, you light yourself on fire, you might get it.
Yeah, something stupid stuff like that. But that's not the audience I'm trying to reach anyway, because they're brain dead.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love them too, so this is why I'm doing this too. Hey, God loves them. Okay, he loves everyone. He loves them all, man. And his truth's going to be poured out on all flesh. Right now, the lie's being poured out on all flesh. But God's got a plan. It's going to be interesting, and we're all part of it. Whoever's hearing this voice right now, we're a part of it. Because God also stated in Mark 13, his angels are sent out to gather the elect. They go all over the planet. So if you think that your church has the elect in it, you're whack, because the elect are everywhere. And some of us get killed during that time. And so they're gathered in heaven. All over. Hey, God's elect. Don't buy into BS. Okay? And man, these guys, this truth movement, man, there's a lot of people, man, they don't buy into nonsense. And you got to be hardcore straight up.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's the stuff. That's the stuff. Now, I can't pull out of them what God has not put in them. Faith comes by hearing the word of God. So if they have faith, they have the word in them, shown up in their mind and in their actions. And they're seeking truth. And everyone's where they're at in their walk. So I don't even trip. I love them all. Agnostic, atheists, I don't care. I love them too. God made them. You cut me, I bleed red. You cut them, they're going to bleed just the same. When are people going to have any love and compassion? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's something I see a lot in the truth movement, is just lack of compassion for other people's viewpoints. I mean, it's not something I see a lot of, but it's out there. I know from the comments that go on my videos sometimes, it makes you really wonder, and then other times you hear from some really interesting people that support you, and those are the ones I focus on anyway. The guys that are just there trolling, I don't pay any attention to anymore.
Oh yeah, I made a video just for them. What does God call a scoffer? Because I just block them and broom them. I delete their comment, I go over to their site, I block them, broom. Hey man, they're dead wood. And if somebody thinks they're going to walk into my house and piss on my rug, they're tripping.
Exactly.
Straight up. And that's my channel. It's for me. They want to come by and check it out and stuff, which I hope they do. And, hey, that's my pad. Don't come over here. It's all over.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I do. I mean, it depends on the comment. A lot of the times, if it's somebody that's got an argument and they're laying it out somewhat peacefully, and saying this is their problem with it, I'll leave the comment there. But if they come over and they just, make some rude comment, block them and send them on their way, and then it's not a problem anymore.
Well, it's nice that I'm also, I went to college, 6 colleges, but that I have a background in human behavior, because this is really scary stuff. And I know people get frightened, so they'll speak out of turn because they're afraid, really frightened. And I was like, okay, this person's punitive, this one's over coercive, this one's neglected deprivation. You can pretty much tell what's going on subconsciously right from their comment in their videos, which makes the World Bank equally scary, because they got people like that too. And and they can manipulate people, and it's bullshit. And I don't buy into that nonsense. I ain't gonna play God. Forget it. And you know what? If you trust a suit, then boy, you're really in trouble. And I've done videos on purpose, growing long nails and talking funky and everything else, just because it's a joke. People look at these people in suit and ties and all this other stuff, and they just buy into their garbage. Yet here, imagine this: you're standing on a train tracks, and a train's coming right at you. Man, you don't care what that person looks like that pushes you out of the way. And you think a suit is going to push you out of the way?
No, a suit's going to be the one that pulls out a camera and takes a picture of it happening and then sells it on eBay.
There it is.
All right, Scott. Jim, do you got any questions or?
No, I was going to ask you something there before, but you beat me to it. Just explaining the glacial thing you were talking about. Don't worry, I'm good.
All right,
it's good stuff, Scott. I really appreciate you coming on, man. It's great. I'm definitely going to be checking out your channel.
Well, hey, I'm glad you had me on, man, and hey, right on for you guys, because you were here a long time before I was.
Yeah, well, I guess we've been around for a while, but I don't know. I guess it's been a long journey. One thing we're doing, Scott, with everybody that's been on the show this year, we're asking if they have any predictions for the next 12 months. Would you be interested?
Oh boy, you're going to see some bad news. Just off this Gulf Coast thing, wow, it's opened up a whole new fault zone. You're going to see more earthquakes, more volcanoes, more tsunamis, more hurricanes, more severe lightning storms, more planes getting falling out of the sky for no reason. Boats getting overturned because the shipping lanes they're going to be disrupted. You're going to have more and more ripples. It's like the thing out of Duke University. You got all these ripples in the ocean from the waves, and when they all gather up and hit each other at one time, they turn into road waves. And you're going to see more and more and more of that. And boy, you're going to see more and more ferries go down. It's just going to get worse and worse. And with the magnetic field too, you're going to see some really bizarre things. I could see them start to evacuate the lower states here in the United States. I wish they would have already started, starting right here with California. I do not like what I'm seeing down there in San Diego right now. I do not like what I'm seeing off the coast of Santa Monica. And remember, you got the La Brea tar pits right there on Wilshire Boulevard. I do not like that little earthquake that happened outside the San Francisco Zoo this morning. This weight of this ocean so dang heavy. Man, it's going to go. How bad? I don't know. I don't have the numbers. Common sense is what I'm going on. Every number that I have been able to grab, I've grabbed. Every PDF file, everything. So, using just common sense of what I'm seeing, it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better.
Wow, that's very apocalyptic. But you know what? I totally agree with you 100%. And it was just one thing you said that really clued me in was when you said that the planes were going to fall out of the sky, because that's something that, I don't know, it's been in the back of my head since I was a little kid that someday planes are just going to start dropping out of the sky.
It's inevitable. I can't, like I say, if I had all the numbers, I don't know how far along we've progressed already. And I don't know all these legal things they've covered up and stuff. And I don't want to take guesswork on this because, this is serious stuff. And you just can't come off the wall and just say whatever you want to say. You got to back it. And so, I just give you my best guess on that stuff. But if it's progressed as far as I think it is, you're just going to see it getting worse and worse and worse as these years go along. It's not going to get better. So you might as well just go ahead and start moving the people out of those zones that are going to get hurt the worst. And those are islands and the areas around the equator. Start preparing for volcanoes. Start preparing for hardcore lightning and wildfires. Start preparing for the shipping lanes to go down for periods of time for safety. and they're gonna stop drilling offshores. And I just pray we do not get another Chernobyl incident, because you've got a very old nuclear facility sitting right on the coast of San Diego, and God, there must be 40 years of spent fuel rods in that thing. And and if San Andreas goes, and it looks like the South Fork is really active right now, and she's 100 years overdue. North Fork and South Fork right there, man, that is not a good area to have a nuclear facility. These rich just don't care. They just don't care.
Well, that's very true. All right, Scott. Well, I want to thank you for coming on and giving us your information. Can you give out your YouTube channel?
Sure. It's Believers Underground. I also have a backup channel. It's Global Truth Network 1. So that one's more money oriented, and the underground is everything. People would ask for, hey, can you do one on EMP? Because they set up EMP devices all over United States just for that, unpredictable lightning storms. I can't find that PDF for nothing either. It just makes me so mad, because someone I wanted to do a video on it, and I know I got this stuff. Yeah, I can't find it. I got like 40 memory cards and stuff. I got kids, man.
Yeah,
these things are everywhere. Anyhow, but it's Believers Underground, and I love you guys and everyone in the Truth Movement. And God bless you. And, God bless you guys, and that's it, man.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott.
Tsunami.